الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله والسلام على سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد واللعنة دائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. دعاء إمام صاحب الزمان عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقاعدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وجل فرجه.
أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد وقوله الحق وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. We all seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the good life. Everybody is in search of a life which gives him success, which gives him happiness. And different people are looking for this happy life in different factors, in different elements. But yesterday and the day before yesterday, we started talking about our thoughts and the way we should be thinking. And if our thoughts, which are basics of our life, if we are able to think in the right way, then we will be able to act in the right way as well. And we reached to the position how we can manage our thoughts and the way we can think in a proper, if we can ask the father of this little one so I can concentrate. Thank you very much. So, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The thoughts are beginning of our journey in this life. So we reached the position where we talked about how I can think positively about different things. One of the areas where we need to think positively when we are dealing with people, there might be a person who might not be very good according to our thinking. He might not be he might not have a very good etiquette. He might be a person using a bad language. He might swear. He might use a slangs and all these things. So how I can deal with all those people? How I can deal with these people? The first way and the first tool with which Ahlulbayt alayhimus salatu wassalam taught us is start from detaching. You know, sometimes something is coming in your brain. Most of the people, they don't know how to detach this thought from their brain. They go on and on and saying that why this happened. For example, you are driving very nicely, very carefully. Suddenly a driver comes and he goes very fastly and you are about to have a dangerous accident. Alhamdulillah, God saved you. But after he goes away, you become angry and you started saying and swearing at him that what type of person he is. He's a crazy driver. He's a reckless driver. If you are saying these kind of things continuously on and on, it means you are not able to detach negative thoughts from your brain. When Ali ibn Abi Talib was going from a place, he saw a person, he swore toward Ali. Somebody says, Ya Ali, somebody is swearing you by your name. Ali is saying he might be swearing to some other Ali. There are so many Ali living on this world, in this city. Ali knew he's swearing me, but he's taught us that whenever somebody is even swearing you and taking your name, say he might be saying to some other Reza, to some other Ali, he's not telling me. So Mawla told us and taught us how you can detach your thoughts from, negative thoughts from your brain. And one of the best way to detach is forgive. And that is the best tool, and that is the best way that Islam told us, that if you want to detach something from your brain, that I don't want to think about it anymore, I want to stop thinking negatively, the first thing I can start is forgive that person. And this is the greatest tool that we have been provided. When you are forgiving somebody, you're not doing something good toward him, you're not favoring him, rather you are favoring yourself. You're throwing this negative thoughts from your brain. You're throwing this negative thinking from your brain. This is why Quran is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that oh people, that do you want that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you all, guys? Definitely everybody is saying yes. Ya Allah, we are ready, that we want you to forgive us. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Fasfahu, you forgive your brothers, Allah will forgive your sin. If you want to detach all of the negative thoughts, we should start from forgiving, because forgiving is something which is a great quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we can decorate ourselves with the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once Prophet Moses asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, who is the worst person of my nation? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the first person entering the city and a child is on his shoulder, he is the worst person of your nation. Prophet Moses went there, he saw a person entering, a baby, a 5 years old son was sitting on his shoulder, and he was entering that city. At that time, Prophet Jesus asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the worst person of my nation? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the person who will be entering the city at evening, he is the best person of my nation. Prophet Moses went there to see who is the worst person of the nation. What did he see? He was surprised. He was the same person. A kid was on his shoulder, and he was entering the room, entering the city. Prophet Moses was surprised. He says, Ya Allah, at morning you said he is the worst person of my nation. At evening you are saying he is the best person of your nation. What is the reason? At that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replies, oh Moses, when this person was going and his kid was on his shoulder, his kid asks him, yeah, my dad, what is the greatest thing in the world? The dad says, greatest thing in the world is this jungle. They were going in the jungle. Then son says, oh father, what is bigger than jungle? The father said, bigger than jungle is the mountain that you can see. The son says, what is bigger than jungle, bigger than mountain? He says, bigger than mountain is the skies. Then the son says, what is bigger than skies? At that time, tears are coming out of this person's eyes, and he says, your father's sins are bigger than skies. Then the son innocently asks, what is bigger than your sins? The father says, it's rahman, blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is bigger than my sin. At that time, when Allah saw this person is saying, yes, my sins are bigger than anything, but blessing and rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are bigger than my sins. Allah showers His blessing upon him, and all of his sins were forgiven, and he was transferred from the worst person to the best person. Salat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So it means we can transfer our life by forgiving. We want to detach negative thoughts from our brain. All right, you start from forgiving. If we are able to forgive people, definitely this thought will come out, and we will have a peaceful life. We will get easy life. We are not going to get any kind of stress. We will be able to control our emotions, because controlling and understanding your emotion is not mustahab. It's wajib for every single person to know yourself, to get the recognition of yourself. That is the most important target of our life. We are thinking, no, we are just here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, oh man, look at yourself, that what you are doing here, actually by your action you are collecting something for your hereafter. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. Oh man, think about your actions. All of your actions are based on your thoughts. Think about your action. Whatever you are doing, you are saving it for your hereafter. This is the reason why Ali ibn Abi Talib says there are 3 types of disease on the planet. There are 3 types of diseases that people might be infected and affected by. What is the first type of disease? The first type of disease that people get affected or infected by is the disease of body. You might get flu, you might get virus, you might get any kind of disease, you might get any kind of condition like diabetes and all these things. So these are diseases of your body. But these diseases of body, illnesses of body last for just 100 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, not more than 100 or 120 years. that's the end of all of diseases related to body. But the second type of disease, Mawla says, the second type of disease is disease of poverty. Some people, they are poor, and because of poverty, they are going and doing crimes. Sometimes faqr and poverty will make a person kafir, and this is the second type of disease. And what is the third type of disease? Imam is saying the third type of disease are the diseases of your soul, and these diseases are not going to last for 100 or 200 years. These diseases will have effect on your eternal life, on your permanent life. It will remain with you forever, forever and eternally. Why? Because we are doing here, whatever I am doing here, I can't realize the effect of my action. For example, why? Because there's a cover. Let me give you an example of this wire. The wire I'm holding, if I touch this wire, I'm not going to get any kind of current or any kind of electricity shock. Why? Because there is a cover on top of this wire, and because of cover, I can't feel any kind of shock and electrical current because of this cover. But if this cover is removed, I will feel the shock. In the same way, when we are living in this world, we have a cover, and that cover is this, our body. If I'm swearing somebody, I'm not getting any kind of result. Probably I'm not getting any kind of adhab in this world. If I'm saying bad to somebody, I'm not getting any kind of adhab and torture of hereafter in this world. Why? Because of this cover, and this body is working like a cover in our material life. But as soon as our body will be separated from our soul, and body will fall down on ground, and soul will be alone and separated from our body, all of those effects which are hidden now will be appeared. This is the reason when a sinful person will be placed in the grave. Ali ibn Abi Talib says a person who did adultery, who is to do zina, who is to do sins, who is to do all those wicked actions in this life, when he will be left alone in the grave, there will be thousands doors of adhab will be opened, and from every adhab, one adhab, from every door, one adhab and torture will start. From somewhere fire will enter, from some door the scorpion will enter, from some door the snakes will enter. This is the reason Ali ibn Abi Talib is saying in dua, oh man, take care of your weak body. Your body is very weak. When winter comes, you turn on your heaters to get the heat of heater and get away from the winter. And when hot weather starts, you turn on the heat, you turn on the air condition to get the good cool wind. Oh man, your body is very weak. Your body is very feeble. Take care of your body, and don't prepare your body for the sin and for eternal adhab. What type of adhab? Adhab is a type of adhab that Allah is saying Adim. Allah is calling that adhab Adim. Who is Allah? Allah is Adim himself. When Adim God, when great God is calling that adhab great, now we should imagine how great is that adhab. That we should be refraining ourselves from this adhab by taking care of third type of disease that Imam is telling us. What is the third type of disease? The third type of disease is disease of soul, which starts from our thinking. We should take care of our thinking so we can treat these diseases. But unfortunately we don't. We are sometimes careless about all of our actions. That what does my action mean, and how much benefit I am giving to my soul, or how much damage I am giving to my soul. There was a person, actually, there's a story of a perfume seller. There was a perfume seller who used to live in Najaf. He was a pious person, he was a good person, and it was his habit whenever he used to open his shop. What he used to do, he used to stand on the street on a small height, and he used to start advising people and doing nasiha to them on his daily routine. And that was his routine. Before opening the shop, he used to go and advise people not to do sin, be a good person. So once what happened, a Zaire princess came, it is the story of old time. A princess came all the way from India to go to Hajj. But somebody told him that you came to Najaf up till now, the journey was safe, alhamdulillah. But when you are going to go to Hajj, on the way there are many robbers who can rob your money and wealth. You should keep your money, and you are a very, very wealthy person, you are a princess. You should keep your money in a safe place. So he was thinking, because in the old time there was no bank system and all these things. So he was thinking, I have no idea, I'm here in Najaf for ziyarah. I don't know anybody. Who should I trust this money and gold of mine to? While he was thinking, once he used to, every day he used to attend the lecture of this perfume seller who used to give a short speech before opening his shop. He thought this person might be a good and reliable person as he looks like. He goes to that person and he says, brother, actually, I'm going to Hajj. I want to keep some gold and some valuable treasures and some valuable jewelries with you. And when I come back from Hajj, I will take back from you and I will go back to my city, to India. He says, all right, you can keep it. He says, I gave him a big bag of golds and jewelries, and I told him, inshallah, I will be back within 2 months and I will get these things from you. This man goes to Hajj, and after he comes back, he was surprised that when he goes to the perfume seller, that can you give me my amana that I gave it to you? He says, I don't know you. Who are you? I have no idea. What are you talking about? Shaitan whispered him when he saw such a big amount of money and such a big amount of jewelry and gold and wealth and money. Shaitan misguided him. Man, you are getting all these things for free. He denied, I'm sorry, I can't give you anything because I don't know you actually. Who are you? I've never seen you here. Now he was surprised and he had no idea what to do. He was sitting in a stranger country and he was a stranger there. He had nobody, just the tomb and bari of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He goes and he holds the bari of Imam and he says, Ya Mawla, I came to visit you, and from your house I went to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I've been left alone. I don't know where to go. Please help me. He sleeps, and while he was crying, he would fall asleep. And in the dream, he saw Mawla Ali ibn Abi Talib, and Ali ibn Abi Talib says, if you want me to solve your problem, there is a solution. What is your solution? The first person entering the city, that person will definitely be able to help you. He goes next morning, he goes and he stands on the door. He saw an old person who is carrying some woods which he collected from jungle, and he normally carries the woods on his back, and he's going to sell the woods inside the city. When he started looking at that old guy, he said, how can this person help me? That perfume seller is a very influential person. This is a very poor and he looks like a beggar. He can't help me. He goes again to the bari and he starts crying, Mawla, help me. And he saw the same dream again. But he didn't go according to what Imam told him. But third day he repeated the same thing. Mawla told him in the dream the same thing. The first person entering that Najaf, that person will help you. He goes the third day and he goes to that person. Sorry brother, actually to help you, to bother you. Can you help me? And this is my story. The old man told him very confidently, yes, no problem. Inshallah, tomorrow when that perfume seller will come at morning to give a speech, I want you to come there. I will be there as well. He says, all right. And he was surprised that he's very confident. He was very confident that he can solve my problem. And I hoped that inshallah he will be able to solve my problem because my Mawla ordered me that this person is able to solve it. So next day I came there and the perfume seller also came there. He was about to deliver a speech. This old man goes forward, the person who used to sell woods in the city. He goes and says to the perfume seller, brother, every day you give a speech, can you just give me a 5 minute? I just want to share my life experience with all these people who are standing here. He says, all right, Bismillah. He comes and he says to the people of Najaf, oh people of Najaf, I am not an orator, I'm not a speaker, I'm just an ordinary person living in Najaf from the last 4 years. When I was a young person, I needed some money, and there was my neighbor who was not Muslim, he was a Jewish. I asked him to borrow me some money. He lended me some money. I told him, I can't pay you your money all together, I will pay you in installment. He accepted, all right. I paid him half of the installment, and the half of the installment were remaining. But this guy, the Jewish neighbor, he left the city and he moved to Baghdad. I had no idea where he had gone. I asked from people, where is he? They told me he had gone to Baghdad. while half of the installments were remaining, which I didn't pay. I thought in my mind, all right, let him go. He's just a Jewish person. Even if I don't pay him, that's all right. It's not a big deal. Once, and this was in my mind, I forgot about him. I didn't go to Baghdad to do a research, to find that person, to pay his money back to him. He favored me. He gave me, he lended me some money, but I didn't bother myself to pay his money back to him. Once I was sleeping, in my sleep, I saw a dream. In the dream, I saw the day of Qiyamah. And in the day of Qiyamah, I saw all the people are afraid. They are giving their hisab. Their reckoning is being taken place. If you have more good deeds, you will go in Jannah. If you have more bad deeds, you will go to hell. I came forward and they calculated my actions and my deeds of my life. And they came to know, yes, alhamdulillah, your good actions are more than bad actions. You will go to Jannah. Here is Pul Sirat. Here is the bridge of Sirat, and you have to walk from there. And in Pul Sirat, there were different stops where they were stopping me. There were a stop of khums. They asked me, did you pay khums? I told them, alhamdulillah, I paid the right of my imam, but there were many people who were stopped there. There was a stop where they were stopping people who disrespected their parents. They asked me, did you respect your parents and you gave the rights of your parents? I told them, alhamdulillah, I passed from all the stop. But there was a new stop which I had no idea what does it mean. It was written on it, Radde Madalim. That Radde Madalim, I have no idea what does it mean. They stopped me there. You can't go there. I told them, what's the problem? Alhamdulillah, I passed all of my stages, and this is the last stage I have to pass, and there is Jannah. I have to enter the paradise. They told me, no, you can't go that way. I will stop there. When I was stopped there, I saw a burning flame coming out of the hell and came out of the hell and was standing in front of me and said to me, give me my money back. I was not able to recognize who is he. When I realized, oh my God, he's the same Jewish person who I paid, who I didn't pay half of the installment to. He's telling me, give me my money back. This is the adala of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He created a stop called Radd Madalim. If a person who is burning in the hell, he has a right on the person who is entering Jannah. He will be stopped here. You will be entering Jannah, and I am burning in the hell, and I will not gonna allow you to enter Jannah unless and until you pay my right. I told him, where can I bring money? There is nothing, no money here. He said, yes, the currency of this place is not money and dollar and coin. The currency of this place is your amal salih, your good deeds. He said, so how can I help you? The person, he says, my neighbor says, all right, you are in a comfort. I am burning in the fire of hell. Just allow me to put one of my fingers, just one finger on your chest. I will feel the pleasure and you will feel the pain. In result, I will forgive you and let you enter the Jannah. This person says, I thought it's just one finger. Let him touch this finger of burning finger, which is burning from hell, and I will enter Jannah after it. He puts his finger on my chest. I started screaming and shouting. I woke up and I opened my shirt. I saw that wound on my chest. I went to every single doctor of Najaf. Whoever looks at that wound, they told me to leave the clinic. This is not a wound. This is adab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says to all the people who are standing, including that perfume seller, oh people of Najaf, I want to show you this wound of mine. He opens his button and he shows his wound which was on his chest. All the people started crying when they saw that wound, which was just a result of one burning finger of Jahannam. And when this person who was there standing, the perfume seller, when he saw this wound, his heart was completely changed. He came to that person, he came to that Indian prince, he says, take your wealth and money. I don't want to take money. I don't want to go in that fire which is azim and great according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. وَعَجِّلْ فَرَجَهُمْ. So, sometimes we are thinking that what I'm doing is just an ordinary things. Why this person did a sin, this perfume seller? Why? Because, or why did this person was involved? This old man, It's all about their thoughts. You were thinking that if I take money from a person who is, and if I don't pay because he's not Muslim, I can just leave him. No, even if he's non-Muslim, even if he's Christian or Jewish or Hindu, whoever he is, you should pay all the money back to him. Even the people, sometimes people have fake claims, you know, going to the government and having fake claims, getting money and all these things. They are working as well and getting money. So these are all lies. This is haram based on what we are doing. Even if we are lying to anybody, any non-Muslim person, any organization, it's haram what we are doing it. But according to our thoughts, all right, we are getting money, that's all right. As long as it's not, we are not stealing from some good place, as long as we are not stealing from the mosque, as long as we are not stealing from the pocket of a person, it's all right, I can do. This is the wrong thinking and wrong mentality. So first of all, what shall we be doing? We should be, if we want to work on our emotions, on our control, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, work on your emotion. How we can work on our emotion? The first thing is start from your self-control. If you have self-control, then we can work on our emotion. What does self-control mean? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullah. For in the Quran several times it has been repeated over and over. Ittaqullah, ittaqullah, ittaqullah. What does ittaqullah mean? Ittaqullah means create a self-control in your heart. This is taqwa, is all about self-control. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-Shams, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Wash-shamsi wa duhaha, wal-qamari iza talaha. By the sun and its noon time light, wal-qamari iza talaha. By the moon when it follows it, was-samai wa ma banaha, wal-ardi wa ma tahaha. By the sky and the power that created it, wal-ardi wa ma tahaha. By the earth and the power that designed it, wa nafsin wa ma savvaha. By the soul and the power that designed and created it, wa nafsin wa ma savvaha, fa alhamaha fujuraha wa taqwaha, qad aflaha man zakkaha. After all those swears, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, successful is the one who purifies his soul, who cleans his heart. So after all those qasam and after all those swears, Allah is saying, why Allah is taking that swears and qasam? We believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah wants to give us a shock that take care. Remember, Allah is taking so many several qasam. In no verse of Quran Allah has taken so many qasam and swears. This is the only verse of Quran where Allah is taking so many swear, and at the end Allah is saying, purified his heart. Successful is the one who purified his heart. We should purify our heart. And how we can purify our heart? We can purify our heart from our self-control. If you have self-control in our life, we can able to do everything. Philosophy of all the namaz, of all the ibadah is self-control. Why we have to wake up at morning and just pray 2 rakat of namaz at morning where we want to sleep? It's all about self-control. Allah wants to give us a lesson that create a self-control in your life. And that is what Islam and all the ibadah are for. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to fast in the long days? It's all about self-control. Why Allah told us to give khums? While I love money, it's all about self-control. That I'm giving something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to go hajj in trouble? We are getting ill and we are suffering, we are spending money. It's all about self-control. Unfortunately, when we are not having self-control and we are working on other things, while foundation of all the ibadah is create a self-control in your life. We don't have that self-control in our life. Even if a person is not Muslim, if he has self-control, Allah is saying that his struggles and his trying, his endeavors are not going to be wasted. Why? Because he's going on the same path that Ahlulbayt told us. Create a self-control inside you. And how I can create a self-control? I can create a self-control when my locus of control is internal, not external. When I am controlling my life on my own, nothing is controlling my life. There is no external factor which is controlling my life. Most of the people, they are not controlling their life. Their life is under control of money. Their life is under control of wife. Their life is under control of their kids. Their life is under control of their job. Their life is under control of their circumstances. They are not getting full charge and full control of their life. And this is the position where we will destroy our life. Sometime there was a person who came to Ayatollah Naraqi. Ayatollah Naraqi was the person who wrote the book Jami' al-Sa'ada. And these are two sons and father. They wrote the same book, same type of book, Jami' al-Sa'ada and Mi'raj al-Sa'ada. One was written by father, other one was written by son. And this is the greatest book of akhlaq. A person from village, when he read all the book of this Ayatollah, his life was transferred. He left all of his business, he left all of his money. He was turned into a very poor person who had no house to live, who had no dress to wear. He just had one little bag where he used to put his things in it. And in his little bag there was nothing, just a bowl to eat and some bread to eat and some water to drink and these kind of things. Just that was his life. All of his life was just an ordinary bag. Once he thought that the person who changed my life, I should go and I should meet him. And that person was Ayatollah Naraqi, who changed his entire life. He went there to see Ayatollah Naraqi, but he was shocked when he saw his life, that he was sitting in a very big and beautiful madrasa. He was there, and many people were coming and meeting him and kissing his hands and giving him khums money and all these things. And he was shocked, and he started thinking in his heart that my life was transferred because of this person. And this person is having a very material life. It looks like he's living a luxurious life. And I changed my life because of him, because of his book. But his life is very luxurious. He says, when I was thinking in my own, Ayatollah Naraqi told me, how are you? I told him, Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. What's your plan? Where are you going? He said, Alhamdulillah, I came to Qom. And from Qom, I want to go to Iraq, to Karbala. Then at that time, Ayatollah Naraqi told him, that do you want to go to Karbala? Can I accompany you? He said, yes, sure. Why not, Maulana? You can accompany me. When I accepted him, I told him, yes, you can accompany you. He just got up and he said, let's go to Karbala. I told him, are you sure? Do you want to leave all of this system, these people, these students, these money and everything, just go right away to Karbala? He says, yes, because Imam al-Hussein is calling me. He says, I was surprised at how he left everything. But anyway, I went with him. And in the way, we were just about to get near to Karbala. At that time, I remembered, oh my God, I left my bag in the madrasa of this Ayatollah. I told him, sir, sorry, I left my bag in your madrasa. He told him, all right, I will give you, when you will go back, inshallah, I will grab your bag and give it to you. He said, no, I can't go without my bag. Ayatollah says, we are just about to get to Karbala, and you are telling me to go back again all the way to Qom, and just to grab a bag of you which has nothing, just a small bowl and a piece of bread. You want me to go back? I will buy a new bag in Karbala for you, new bowl for you, everything I'll buy for you again. He said, no, sir, I can't go without my bowl. At that time, Ayatollah Naraqi told him, look, brother, you were thinking. It means he was able to read the thinking and the mind of people. He was able to read the minds of people. He's told him that you were thinking that I'm having a luxurious life, a big madrasa, a big house, a big wealth, everything I have. But as you told me to go to Karbala, I never ever thought about what will happen about my system, what will happen about these things. I just left there and came with you, but you just left a small bag of yours, and you are so worried about your bag. When the death time will come, angel of death will tell me to leave this madrasa and the house and all the fans and the followers. I will quickly leave these things and I will go to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when Allah will tell you to leave this world, you will start searching of your bag and your bowl and your piece of bread. You don't have anything, but your heart is inside that bowl control inside that bag. Some people, their locus of control is external. He was thinking that I am very pious. I left my money, I left my house, I left my luxurious life. But he was not able to differentiate. I left my heart from that place, but I was attached to this small bag of mine. Even if we are attached to small and little thing, and that little thing can destroy our life. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Salli ala wa'ajjil farajun. So we should go in, we should live a life where our locus of control is internal, not external. External things should not be controlling us. And that is the target of these days. Can take 100%, 100% charge of your life. Because if our locus of control is external, people will lead us anywhere they want. Society will lead us anywhere the society wants. While followers of Ahlulbayt, followers of Hussein are not that type of people who follow the society. Rather, they live a type of life that entire society follows them. Entire society learns from them. There's a famous saying of Shaheed Beheshti. He says, people follow the realities, but lovers of Hussein, they don't follow reality. What do you mean? You don't follow the realities? Yes, followers of Hussein are not those people who follow the realities, but they change the realities of the world. Hussein changed the realities of the world. The reality was saying, you are just 72 people and there are 30,000 people, you will get defeated. But Hussein told them, no, I can find a way where blood can conquer the sword, and blood conquered the sword. And it was that time when Hussein was successful. Hussein's locus of control was not external. Locus of control was internal. When your locus of control is internal, nothing can make you sad. Nothing can make you unhappy. You will remain happy forever. Because happiness is not an external thing. If somebody gives you a car, you might be happy for a while. But after a while, that is going to be normal for you. If somebody gives you a house, you'll be happy for a while. But after a while, that house will be a normal thing for you. Something which will keep you happy all the time, and that is the ma'rifah and recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ma'rifah will never ever get old. This love will never ever get old. People who were in Karbala, they were the people who were thinking they were the most happiest people on the planet. Why they were happy? Because they were not seeking for material things. They were seeking for happiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The locus of control was designed according, they were adjusting their thoughts and thinking according to happiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we adjust our life in that way, our life will be easy. Our life is not going to be difficult as well. We would like to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, help us so we can walk on the path of Hussein and Zainab. These nights are the nights related to Lady Zainab salamullahi alayha. The Lady Zainab who was suffering, and every part of sufferers, every part of difficulty and calamities, she was giving condolences to all the ladies who were with her. She was giving condolences to the kids. She was even giving condolences to Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. There was it's a story of a lady. She lived in Lebanon and she was Christian. She went to different doctors for the cure of her daughter. Her daughter was paralyzed. There's no cure for her. Somebody told her that there's a doctor living in Syria. He might be able to cure your daughter. She came all the way from Lebanon to Syria and she started living in a hotel. Because the process of healing was taking long, she lived there for 2 months. And while she was living there, Muharrum started. And she saw people are going and shedding tears and going and entering the haram of little daughter of Hussein. And she was standing in front of the haram of little daughter of Abu Abdullah. At that time she asked that why these people are crying and beating their chest and entering the haram. They told this lady that Hussein had a little daughter of 3 years old, 3 years and some months years old daughter, who lived with Hussein, and she was martyred in the prison. And all these people are crying for that little child of Abu Abdullah. When she heard this, and somebody told her as well, if you ask anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the name of this little daughter of Hussein, Allah will never reject you. She says, all right, I will ask something from God. And she started crying and saying to Abu Abdullah, oh Hussein, I'm a Christian, I don't believe in you. But as somebody told me that you had a little daughter who used to be slapped on her face, who was tortured so much, and finally she ended up giving her life for father. I want to ask something in the name of this little daughter of Hussein. She says, I was crying and shedding tears. At that time, what did I feel? I remembered while I was crying, I cried there for many hours. Suddenly I remembered that I left my daughter in the hotel and she's alone and there's nobody with her. I went there. When I entered the hotel, I wanted to open the door. But before I put the key inside the door, I saw my daughter is walking toward the door and she's opening the door for me. I was shocked and surprised that she was totally paralyzed. I told her, how comes that you are walking? The little daughter of mine says that my mom, when you went there, I saw a little 3 years old girl coming toward me and telling me to stand up. I told her I can't stand up. She told me, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and stand up. I stood up and she told me, I am leaving, but remind your mother that she promised if your daughter is healed, you will convert to Islam. Here is your daughter, he is healed. I'm leaving and going. Just remind your mother the promise she is given. I asked from her, who are you and how you healed and cured me? She says, I am the little daughter of Hussein. I am the same daughter who was tortured all the way from Karbala to Kufa, from Kufa to Sham. Let's say salam to Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'minin. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Fatimata سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب. This caravan of prisoners is being taken away from Karbala to Kufa. Zainab and Sukaina and Ruqayya and Kulsum are taken away from Hussein. It is said to be on the way. It was time of night. Little daughter of Hussein fell from camel on the ground because it was the time of night, and nobody was able to realize that daughter of Hussein is fell down. It would happen in result on the spear on which Hussein's head was raised. That spear went inside the ground. The person who was holding soldier, who was holding the spear on which Hussein's head was there, he tried to pull the spear out. He was not able to pull the spear out. He came to Umar ibn Sa'd and said, Hussein's head is stuck in the ground. I tried a lot to take it out, but the spear is not coming out. Do you know what did Umar ibn Sa'd did? He didn't go to the head of Hussein, rather he went to Imam Zayn al-Abidin. He started beating his back with his lashes on his back and telling to Sajjad, oh Sajjad, tell your father to move forward. Zayn al-Abidin walked toward the head of Hussein, and he turned his head toward the decapitated head of Hussein, which was on the spear, and he's saying, oh father, my back can't take any more lashes. My back is full of wounds and blood. Why you are not walking forward? It was at that time, and Hussein says, my little daughter has fell down off camel. She has been left behind. I am not going to go forward until my little daughter comes in and joins the caravan. What happened? Lady Zainab got off the camel and she started searching for little daughter of Hussein. Some narrator called the name of Hussein's daughter Ruqayya. Some narrator called it Sakina, whoever she was. But Zainab started calling, oh Sakina, where are you? Your father is calling you. Lady Zainab saw a weird thing happening. What did she saw? She saw a lady wearing a black dress, wearing a black veil and covering her face, and little daughter of Hussein was sleeping soundly in her lap. Lady Zainab was surprised that this little daughter of Hussein, she never used to sleep in the laps of a stranger. How comes that she is sleeping in the lap of a stranger? Lady Zainab comes and cuddles the little daughter of Hussein, and she says, oh lady, thank you very much. All the way from Karbala till Kufa, nobody showed any love to little daughter of my brother. Somebody used to slap on her face. Somebody snatched her earrings. Thank you very much. You are the first one to show love to my daughter. It was at that time when lady wearing the black dress says, oh Zainab, you didn't recognize me. It's me, your mother, Fatima Zahra. I am all the time with you. When you left Medina, Jannatun Nabi. I left the Jannatul Baqi. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم ارزقنا توفيق الطاعة وبعد المعصية وصدق النية وعرفان الحرمة، وطهر بطوننا من الحرام والشبهة، وعلى النساء بالحياء والعفة، وعلى العلماء بالزهد والنصيحة، وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان. ربنا تقبل منا إنك